few years to my shows, my podcast, giving me more support, whether it's advertising or marketing or just following the platforms, man. That means a lot to me, and I want people to know that. So I appreciate the support in all angles. Love to help each and every one of you if I can in any way. But as you know, Raw Mind Sports is always ready to press through the next steps and get better and better at my craft in all ways. Those are my raw thoughts, and that's what I'm here to do. So I'm here to let you know I'm trying to take it to another level as well. So, and I'm kind of changing up things here in a way that's going to help, for the best of Raw Mind Sports and for me to be the best for you, the followers, the subscribers, the people who want to be on the platform to get themselves out there, the resources, the necessary ones for you. All right, before I begin, let me go ahead and get my drink in. One of my favorites of Prime Energy, strawberry watermelon. It's very good. Hold on a second. Now I'm ready for this. Ladies and gentlemen, any local athletes, local coaches, local trainers, local volunteers who are need attention to what they're doing, their acts of service, like providing for the community, and their story needs to be told. No worries. I got you. Raw Mind, Raw Thoughts is here to make sure I give all awareness to all the great things that are happening in our area, and that is very extremely important to us to get out on a bigger platform. My platform is here to deliver to you. It's here to serve each and every one of you, local athletes, local trainers, local coaches from high school and below. And if it's also another story that's out there somewhere that's getting some insight on some areas outside of my area, feel free to reach out to me below. rawmindsports.com. rawmindsports.com is my website. You can send me a message, send me an email, send me your phone number. I get some more information, do my research as well as the research that you give me to make that dream come true. I promise you, with my raw thoughts, I will get back to you as soon as possible. Always raw thoughts with me. With that being said, let's get back to some more episodes while I drink my prime.
You're on time to talk sports with Raw Mind. Game day, who plays with updates of all kinds. From press box to sideline. Who got cut, who got signed. Who's clutch when it's crunch time. The starting lineup or the pine. These athletes compete, some without even trying. You want a championship, you gotta grind. When them bright lights shine, and this game go 9, they gon' cover the story, not quite like Ryan. Exclusive interviews, dudes plug like Mike Line. He's got the inside scoop of why, who got fined. Prime time, got the game statistics. I could say, if you wasn't at the game, you missed it. But now Raw Mind Sports covers the distance. Front row, that's close like a coach's assistant. You wanna be in the know? Eyes open and listen. This is Raw Mind Sports, another edition.
Another edition of Raw Mind Sports. I'm your host, Ryan Jones. And man, I'm about to get this piece off the screen right now. And I have my guy, sometimes it's barbershop talk, and barbershop talk initiates the conversation. Right now, we have Monte Atkins. We've been talking for years and years and years. Great brother, good brother to me. And he's been in the barbershop, and every time we get in there, you already know what time it is. It's sports. So, Monte, how you doing, champ?
I'm good, bro. How about you?
I'm doing good. And with that being said,
great. Thank you for having me, fam.
No doubt. And with that being said, Essential Collections by Monica Ritz. Use the promo code Raw Mind. Get 15% discount. Monica Ritz is a doctor who's homegrown all her bath products, from skin conditioner to beard balm to cold balms for kids when they have colds to, bath products, body wash, bar soap, like homegrown in her house to help us gel and melanate. With that being said, shop at www.essentialcollections.site. Give us a shout. So Monte, is good to be here, Atkins, and like to talk to you and get your raw thoughts on a few topics, man. And the first topic, man, is none other than who should have won the NBA MVP?
SGA. Shay, led the league. I'm not led the league, but averaged 30 points a game, 31 points a game. Led a young team to the number 1 seed in a hard West.
Mm-hmm.
The number 1 seed. So, he should have definitely won it. I mean, there's no knock on the Joker for winning it. No knock on him. I mean, he's a phenomenal, exceptional player, but um, he shouldn't have won it. They were like they were the number 2 seed, but his statistics actually dropped this year. So with
Mm.
his statistics dropping, why would you give this guy the MVP when you got a young guy, a young bull, who's leading a young team? This is the youngest team in the NBA, and they are number 1 seed in the West.
Hey, yeah, I agree, man. Youngest team, been there, done that. I think like earlier today you was talking about like Jokic should have won the championship before then. I mean the MVP last year. And
Yeah.
he didn't because the fact that it went elsewhere. But this team is a little different, man. SGA was doing good. Shaq really broke it down. People didn't want to
Mhm.
hear it. But Jokic made a little joke like we know he probably didn't think he deserved it or whatever. But I don't know if it's the fundamentals, the game, the level. How do you feel about Denver right now as we speak?
Uh, they good. I mean, they're the defending champions, so you gotta respect that. But they're beatable. They're gettable this year. Um, and you know, even this is the thing with Joker. Even with him winning the MVP, they got they got blown out the first 2 games pretty much um by the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they've done good to come back and fight back to tie the even the series. But that was pretty much based on how well Aaron Gordon did.
Right.
So even though you had a guy that's the MVP, but you still need it. I mean, you need pieces, but um, Joker pretty much had been giving you the same thing those first 4 games. It was Gordon who had to step up. It was that bench who had to step up. If that bench doesn't step up, they in a 3-1 hole.
Yeah, I agree with that. No, I,
You
I
know, for the
wholeheartedly agree with
series.
that. And it's crazy because now that the series is tied, who would ever
Mm-hmm.
thought it'd have been butt backwards? Raw thoughts. Denver
Mm-hmm.
losing at home twice, then they go to Minnesota and win. Now it's gonna be tough, man. Even though I love Anthony, I feel like he's next up or now.
Mm-hmm.
He is like definitely now. It's hard to guard him. Like he
Mm-hmm.
is like Jordan times 100 because he can shoot the jump shot consistently. It's
Mm-hmm.
hard to guard him. He doesn't have a bag of moves, but it's just hard to guard him because like you can know what he's
Mm-hmm.
doing, but he's just that athletically gifted to where he can shoot over, go over the top,
Right.
explosive stuff like that. He ain't got the bag of tricks like Kyrie Irving. Like Kyrie Irving, by far to
But he
me,
doesn't have to because of the body, his physique. He's strong, he's powerful. He doesn't have
right.
to. Because at the end of the day, the main goal is to get the ball in the basket. And when goes downhill, who's gonna get in front of him? Who's gonna stop
Nobody.
him?
Right.
You
Nobody.
know, so quickest way from point A to point B is a straight line. So he ain't gotta have a bag of tricks. He don't have to have a bag of tricks. You
Nah,
know,
and he definitely
um,
does it, man. He's really good at what he does, man. I feel the
he
same
is.
way, man. Like he's just
He
a
is.
handful, but now he has to prove how much of a handful he is. Now the
Yeah.
series is tied
Yeah.
because you got to go back to Denver. It's gonna be different. That team, I don't think Denver's gonna lose any more home games this series. That's just me. But it's
Yeah.
anything is possible.
Yeah,
Anything is possible.
it is. It is. I mean, um, his veterans need to step up. I don't know what's going on. With Rudy Gobert, you know, Cat, they played terrible last night. I didn't see a defensive player of the year like what three he won it 3 times, 4 times. I didn't see a 3-time defensive player of the year on that court. Last night.
Right.
Um, Carl Anthony Towns, he got to do better. You know, um, he's streaky. To be honest, a lot of people give Anthony Davis a lot of criticism for being streaky, but Carl Anthony Towns is the same thing. The streaky player. Any given time, he could be the best player in the league, but he's too streaky. He's too inconsistent.
And with that being said, on that end, we're gonna get back to more basketball titles. But look,
Yeah.
Raw Mind Sports right now is covering a lot of local athletes. Although I'm gonna have my main man Monte hopefully on once a month to discuss.
Mhm.
I gotta keep some pepper
Right. Right.
in the mix because we gotta talk about pro sports, whatever. I know betting apps, stuff like
Right.
that. I get it, but my main key is like handling local athletes, local sports. So with that being said, I had a previous interview recently with Ramsey Bryant and Mackenzie Moore, available now on YouTube. And check out a snippet from this right now.
Okay.
And then like 2 weeks later, when I got an MRI, got the results back. They said that I probably wouldn't come back, especially this season, maybe later on. So then at that moment, I knew that like my dreams were crushed of playing my senior year and then no college ball. And I actually persevered and I played my whole senior season, was able to catch, and now I'm committed to North Carolina Wesleyan University.
Man, so and that was a snippet right now available on all my platforms, YouTube and all, man. Mackenzie Moore and Ramsey Bryant, who plays softball for Southwest Edgecombe. So
Okay.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's cool. Okay, I was say, okay, go Cougars. Go Cougars. You know, I'm a Northern Nash Knight, you know, but of course, Knight always class of 2004. But I respect it, man. It's the kids, man. It's always good to see them, chasing their goals and fulfilling their dreams, you know.
And I'm glad you said that. So with that being said, man, one of the baseball players, actually, we have here down here on the ticker. Shout out to Nikki Mills of your trusted realtor at KW Points east of Keller Williams. That's out of Greenville, but she's here to serve you all in Eastern North Carolina, whatever property, whatever sale you're trying to do. If you're trying to purchase a home or maybe trying to sell a home, she's going to be there at your service to help you through the whole process. Her number is 252-567-0154 or Nikki, Nikki Mears at KW.com. Use the promo code Raw Mind, and let her know she may have a special deal for you if you mention the Raw Mind code. So with that being said, we've seen this before, and when I say we've seen this before, we always seen this before. Tom Thibodeau running the Knicks in the ground. And how do you feel about this? Because I think we've seen this saga with other teams before.
I mean, they NBA players. They get paid millions of dollars, to play a game that a lot of people play for fun all across the world.
My pride
Yeah, they are human, but at the end of the day, I feel like if the players aren't complaining, who are we to talk about, how much he's running them? Because Josh Hart isn't complaining about running. Jalen Brunson isn't complaining about running. Ananobi, none of those guys, and actually all of those guys, they really appreciate him. They like him, but at the end of the day, the goal is to win. And if you got to keep your best players out there on the floor to win, because as soon as you take them off the floor, you see the decline. As soon as you start pulling those guys out, you see the decline. So them guys, sometimes they can't sit down. You look at some of our greatest players and our NBA champions. A lot of them guys was averaging 40 plus minutes a game.
Right.
When LeBron his championship runs, LeBron was averaging 42 minutes per game. So I just feel like if they not complaining, if the players are cool, is they know what their bodies are capable of. They know what they can do. And like I said, if they're not complaining, I mean, I have no kind of objection to what he's doing. The man, he's a basketball savant. He's knowledgeable. He's pretty much won everywhere he's been. And they play a certain way. And just because we haven't seen a championship or the results right now, doesn't mean that it can't happen. He has to get a bench, but if he don't have a bench, any team, if you look at if their benches aren't productive, if they don't have any depth, a lot of teams, a lot of players are averaging starters average high minutes.
Right.
That's across the board.
No, and I agree with it. And the thing was like with Tom Thibodeau, like it's been there before. We get it. I think the Knicks are beat up a lot in some key positions, but a lot of people want to say that they getting ran into the ground. He's done that with every team he's dealt with. And honestly, let's be truthful. Apparently, he must be doing a good job coaching because even though he's running, I guess they want to say running guys into the ground, he still always finds himself in a head coaching position at this very moment. And I think he's very good at his job. He's very good at coaching. It's just that it's a little different, man. You got to work. And that right now, the Knicks are not deep. But the Knicks, what I will say is this to the media, where I apologize because everybody probably right now are taking their words back when they said that when they gave the Knicks gave Brunson all that money, like they was smoking blow. But
Mhm.
apparently, Jalen Brunson has proved the doubters wrong since he's been there and he's been worth the money. But go ahead, Monte.
Yeah, he is. Jalen Brunson's the real deal, and that's the thing. The Knicks is a high market team, so they're going to pay their starters a lot of money. So a lot of times, what happens is you see the residual effects of, you know, having a high market teams where all the guys, the starters are getting all the money, and then you don't have a bench, and then if you have starters that get injured, then that's even worse. I mean, they've been hurt. Julius Randle, that's a key piece gone. You
Right.
know, um,
Regardless of what you think about him, he's a key piece to this team. I get what you're saying. Like
yes.
he's always been key, but he's definitely for this championship run. The Knicks had a chance to go to the championship. He will be
Mhm.
valuable at this very moment right now with the New York Knicks.
Yes, so you need that. And then Brunson, like I said, they gave him his money, and he's playing up to every dime, of that money, and he deservingly so. He needed that. But this is a guy. It's no surprise because he was NBA talent when he played for Villanova. I mean, the guy won two national championships in a 3-year span.
Right.
And was outstanding. Went to Dallas with Luca, was out off the bench. Like if you had if be honest with you, if he had stayed with Dallas, he probably would have been a strong 6 man of the year candidate.
No, no question, no question. And
And
I'm gonna go
six
back to it.
men, pretty
Go ahead.
much most of the time, 6 men of the year, they starters somewhere else. Anyway, it just so happens that sometimes if a team is so stacked, then you just gotta play your role. you know.
Raw thoughts, raw thoughts. And I'm gonna take this thing off real quick because I'm gonna go back into some more NBA stuff in a second.
Okay.
Hold on a second, real quick, as we bring up Nikki Mears. That was Nikki Mears of Keller Points East. And so I'm gonna ask you a quick question right now, man, because we're gonna keep this NBA conversation going for a quick second. Right
Okay.
now, because it came to my mind, because I put the wrong thing up. Playoff MVP thus far. NBA.
The MVP thus far.
Playoffs. Not regular season, just the playoffs right now.
Hmm. Oh, it has to be Anthony Edwards. That's the MVP right now, Anthony Edwards.
Who would be
Um,
second in your vote? Because I really say Anthony Edwards myself, but
who would be a second?
correct.
Um, second, I would have to go with Brunson. I had to go with Brunson.
So
Brunson
it
has
is.
had what, three 40-point games in the playoffs,
Woo.
and
And cook.
he's not 100%. You see he has the tape on his hand and all that stuff. Um, he out there looking like a Terminator. He out there playing like a Terminator.
Yeah, no doubt. How do you feel so far? Kyrie Irving has been like bag of moves, bag of tricks, whatever
Hmm.
you want to call it, man. Like thus
Oh,
far, how
oh,
you feel about Dallas right now in this series that are going against
you know
OKC?
what's crazy? Before the playoffs started, I said Dallas was a team to watch out for. It was one of those sneaky teams. They were just in the right seeding, you know, to not be threatened in the first rounds, and then by the time they got to the later rounds with a lot of basketball being played or whatever, fatigue sets in. I thought that they were one of those ones they're going to be dangerous, and if they beat, you know, if they beat the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight, I think they pretty much had a series wrapped up, and then they'd be on to the Western Conference Finals.
So my
And
next question. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think Kyrie's hungry, man. He's hungry. He's playing with a confidence that hadn't seen in a while.
Right.
Um, he's playing like he really enjoys being there and playing, with Luca and uplifting the city of Dallas. And you know, he's hungry. and he's grown into himself, and he's weathered the storm of the media publicity and the media scrutiny, and he's doing great. Um, just need Luca to come through too. But yeah, I think they pretty much, if they win tonight, I think they have, and they should, because I think they're at home. No, are they back at home tonight?
I have
I
to
don't
check.
know, but either way, I think they should. They should, if they win tonight, they would probably wrap it up, you know, and then get ready for the Western Conference Finals, and that second round between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Nuggets, that can go seven. That can go seven. And to
I
be
agree.
honest, I think that's probably what's going to happen. Because, like you said, as you said earlier, I think Denver, they're not going to lose anymore at home. But I don't think that if Minnesota has to go back home for a game six, I don't see Denver beating Minnesota in a game six.
Not at
And
all.
it'd just be for, you know, all the chips, game seven.
So for me, I'm gonna go to another topic real quick because
Okay.
it's been raw thoughts has been like a thing that's been discussed. It hasn't been discussed as much because it's like we know it's gonna happen all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Is it time to break up the LA Clippers? Because I know you were talking about how Dallas was playing. Like Kawhi's never healthy. Westbrook's coming off the bench, taking multiple roles to be a team player, third role, and I think like third. I mean, I guess third option or fourth option. Then you got the other guys, the young guys. Paul George is still there. Like this
Mm-hmm.
team, really, when you look at it on paper, could probably be in the NBA Finals, but
Yeah.
they're not every year. Every year, something that happens. It's the first round. The past 2 years, they have been one and done on a really good team that's supposed to be prepared for playoffs. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the key factor of why they not, why they're not moving on or moving forward is because Kawhi's his unavailability. He's injured, and only he knows his body.
Right, right.
The doctors know him, and he knows his body. He knows how he feel. He's been in the league a while, a long time. The average NBA career is only like 4 to 5 years anyway. Um, and he's been in the league a long time, played a lot of games. I mean, he's tired. Of course, playing sports, and for so long, and he's getting older. You just don't recover like that. I wouldn't say um to break the team up. I would like to keep those guys, but maybe start the rebuilding phase, and bring some young talent in and let those guys like kind of take the reins, and and have guys like um Paul George, because he's not the same no more. Have guys like Paul George and Kawhi
So
Leonard.
you,
Have
so you
them.
say he's not the same. I don't want to cut you off because this is where we get good at Raw Mind Sports. Teams
Mhm,
are still willing to give him that big payday. So when you say he's not the same anymore, and let's say if a team like Indiana wants him,
mhm,
and they may think he is the same, like
mhm.
let's dive into that real quick.
You said payday. They teams are willing to get at payday because it's a name, it's a brand. They want to elevate their franchise, especially if it's a small market team. Oh, if I get Paul George here or whatever, that's a name. Think about it. We buy Nike
Yeah, them in Philadelphia.
or certain
Correct,
brands.
correct. This is where
Certain
it gets
brands.
good, people.
Why
Yeah,
why
yeah.
we buy certain brands?
Because it's the name.
The
It ain't
name.
no different. It ain't nothing with it. And I'm marketing one of what better way anybody wants some branded marketing service, holler at me.
Mm-hmm.
But you say based on what you saying right there, we buy it so much. Some people always tell me all the time, raw thoughts. Why you always wearing your apparel? Same way you
Mm-hmm.
wear polo, same way you wear Nike.
Right.
I'm
Right. It's
brand
your
me
brand.
because I'm the one of the brand. Why would I brand
Exactly.
them? They already said I'm gonna brand me because I have to be built. Raw
Right.
thoughts. Go ahead, go
Right.
ahead.
So that's why they'll get somebody like a Paul George or them guys, because it's a name, it's a brand, and
And I
then
got
if
my
you
brand on there, by the way. I just want to let people know this first.
that's
Go
what's
ahead.
up. All right, I like that. Yeah,
Go ahead,
it's a
go ahead.
name, it's a brand. So that's why they pay. They willing to pay him, and some others reward body of work, but they getting older. You know, I would rather them have advisory roles, kind of like Udonis Haslam for the Bulls. You draft some new guys, bring them in, have these guys help develop
I
them.
mean, Miami
You
Heat.
know,
Miami Heat. He done his
huh?
ass. Miami Heat. Miami Heat, Udonis has them.
Yeah, Miami. Yeah,
Yeah, it
Miami.
said Chicago Bulls.
Say who?
Yeah, say it Chicago Bulls had to get it correct.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Miami Heat. Udonis has them. I'm sorry. You're right. So, they should probably, they could be serve advisory roles, like Udonis has them does. I think that'd be, good. That'd be phenomenal. Like not push them out of the league because they have done so much for the league and they still are relevant names, but they're aging and then they're just not producing the same, you know. Um, I tell you what, I think they really missing Shea Gilgeous-Alexander because he was with them his rookie year,
Right.
so they missing him. Um, I think they got rid of some key pieces too along the way that could have been beneficial to him. Reggie Jackson, I would have never let him go.
For the
Reggie
Clippers, right?
Jackson,
Where's Reggie
huh?
Jackson at now anyway? Where is he at? I done forgot.
He in Denver, ain't he?
He is in Denver. He is in
He's
Denver.
in Denver. Yeah, but
Denver's a deep
Reggie,
team. When you look at length and size, when you look at matchups, now that you say that, Minnesota's probably the only team they probably can match up with them well, from
yeah,
athletic standpoint,
right.
It's
But
tough to
Reggie Jackson had went to the Pistons.
Mhm.
Then he went to Denver. But I don't think I would have let Reggie Jackson go.
I wouldn't let him walk. I wouldn't let him walk. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. No, I wouldn't let him
Yeah.
walk either. And see, this is why we have this show here, folks, with Monte Atkins right now, man, because sometimes you have the athletes, you have the coaches, but sometimes people have to hear the fans' perspective. And
Mm-hmm.
Monte's been around and he loves sports, and this is the raw thoughts of the fan. But before we get into this other stuff, we
Mm-hmm.
got Mr. Shout out to Church Street Tappa Deli, downtown Tarboro. Love local sports and never leave hungry. And trust me, the sandwiches, although I haven't ate meat in a year, the sandwiches, the fries, the all-day breakfast, man. Now they're upstairs in the Tarboro Coffee House where you can order. You don't have to go downstairs, and they have happy hour. Happy hour too.
Okay.
So you go down there and check it out. Use the promo code RAWMIND. Use promo code RAWMIND. Let Anthony know that I sent you. And with that being said, a word from Anthony, the owner of Church Street Tappa Deli himself.
Church Street Tapping Deli, right here shouting out my man, Prime Time with Raw Mind Sports. Always love local sports.
That's my main man, Anthony, right there, man.
Okay.
Great guy, man. Great guy. So, with that
I'm gonna
being
have to
said,
check some of that food out.
you definitely need to. But we got a new thing here. We're going to the NFL now. The Chiefs open the NFL season against the Ravens. Chiefs, sadly for me, as a 49ers fan, that opened up the season, which should be us. But that's another thing for another day. Uh, they opened up the season as Super Bowl champs, but they're going
Yeah.
against a different Ravens team with Derrick Henry in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts thus far? And do you like this game as being the first opponent for the Chiefs?
I do. I like it. You get a preview of what possibly could be another AFC championship down the road. Um, I think it's a sense of urgency now for the Ravens to try to get it done. And I like the acquisitions that they made, in the offseason, especially with, getting Derrick Henry. Me being a Cowboys fan, I'm like, oh, they crazy. We should have got Derrick Henry, but hey, it is what it is. I like it. I respect it, man. And I think it's gonna be a good game, entertaining. It's gonna be tough. I like the acquisitions that the Chiefs have made, with drafting Worthy, Xavier Worthy. I think
Tell
that's a weapon. Young fresh talent, it's a weapon, and so it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Um, because it's still some bad blood, there's a bad taste in the the Ravens' mouths because man they played so well all year long, man, and it was a foregone conclusion that they were the ones that were gonna win, and to kind of like stink it up in the AFC Championship last year. um I think it's gonna light a fire, and they're gonna be out to prove.
So, I ain't gonna lie, man. Ravens gonna be tough. Ravens already were tough last year. With Lamar
Hmm.
Jackson out there, his ability to change games, like he was. A lot of teams in the AFC and probably the NFC was probably glad the Ravens was out the playoffs, or they didn't have to face the Ravens because it's a hard matchup. It's kind of like in local sports, talk about how run the ball, run the ball. If they get up by 2 touchdowns, you ain't gonna beat them. Now, if the Ravens get up by 2 touchdowns, that's gonna be hard to beat them because you're now putting Lamar Jackson in a comfortable spot to just do what he do: run, RPO, run, keep the chains moving, move the clock, move the clock. He's not built. He's not put in a pressure situation to where he has to throw the ball a million times. But when they played against the Kansas City Chiefs, by the way, this season, whether people agree or not, the Kansas City Chiefs probably had the best defense they ever had in their Super Bowl run under Andy Reid this season. Like their defense was legit. Like they were good. Most of the time, you talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, you talk about Patrick Mahomes and his ability to do it. But their defense was very solid this year compared to all the other times they had a defense in these championships. You know, they were led. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was. It was a defense all the way. A lot of people probably didn't pay attention. The Chiefs only averaged about 20 points a game,
right?
You know, which was down tremendously from the previous Super Bowl runs. So it was all defense. You know, this year really proved that defense, you know, won championships and wins championships. Because even in the Super Bowl, Mahomes he started off slow, and then he came out in the second half. He threw an interception. But it was that defense that stepped up and made critical plays at critical moments, you know, to be able to keep him and eventually allow him to make make certain plays to, you know, carry them to the finish line. But yeah, it's the Ravens, man. They're gonna have another great defense. They have a great offense. That running game, like you said, the pressure is gonna be off of Lamar Jackson because now he has a bona fide rusher, you know, that if he stays healthy, so it's a 1,200, 1,300 yard rusher.
No question, no question. All right, so here's my the next one, man. I'm gonna go with your boys.
Oh Lord,
what are your thoughts on your boys this season and how you feel about the all season, all that stuff? You follow your Cowboys very hard, so. For me, I think it's best for you to explain what you feel about your boys.
So how do I feel about them? You know, I do think we had a great draft, and I think we filled the positions that we needed to fill.
Because a lot of Cowboy fans act like y'all ain't done that, but apparently this is why we go to the fan, the expert himself. I want to call you the fan expert. Go ahead.
Thank you. Well, see, the thing here, Jared Jones, he's great at. A lot of people don't know. He's great at drafting talent and developing talent. You know, Dak Prescott.
He's also great at paying the people that he draft. He may not pay the outsiders a lot of money, but if he drafts you, he's willing to give you some big money. But go ahead.
Yeah, well, yeah, but he kind of dragging his feet on Dak Prescott again, and I don't need him to do that. I need him to go ahead and pay Dak Prescott, you know, and secure that because at the end of the day, Dak Prescott, to be honest, since he's been in the league, it's been a top 5 quarterback, and I don't know, you know, I think it's just
I guess when you say that, and I want to interrupt because I get it. Like I had a conversation news station a while back when we were talking about Dak Prescott being, and I want to intervene here for a quick second. Like people always talk about like Dak Prescott ain't top 5. When you talk about top 5, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, so it comes off as like when you look at the numbers, his numbers prove he's top 5. I think people get misconstrued with the fact that he is still a top 5 quarterback if you look at his numbers. Now, in situational football, in a crucial moment, if he make a mistake, that's just a mistake. But that doesn't not neglect that he's a top 5 quarterback because he makes a mistake. Tony Romo makes a mistake. Whoever the quarterback is on any team, they can be top 5. If they make a mistake in a crucial moment, people got to understand they have to separate the two. Just because he make a mistake doesn't make him top 5. Now, if you say, I don't trust Dak in situational football in crucial moments, then that's another story. So it's two different opinions when it comes to that. And people like to put the two together, and that's not how it goes. But go ahead. I had to throw that in there.
Right. Oh no, you're right. You're right. And I tell people that like it's a team sport. I tell people all the time. You say, okay, let's get rid of Dak Prescott, but you get to the playoffs because of Dak Prescott. You know
what you gonna choose from? I mean, that's why. And another thing to me is like, I'm not even a Cowboys fan, but like, what you gonna choose from? Like, what you gonna go? You gonna just go in the draft and hope you get the right pick? You know, you got to go with. You can't. That's hope. You going off hope. Y'all getting Trey Lance, even though you got Trey Lance, you probably say that's still hope. do I trust Trey Lance? I ain't really seen enough footage on Trey Lance to put him out there
Right.
raw thought.
Right, exactly. You had our rival give him up, pretty much let him gift wrapping him to you. So
He said
that
you
should
can
tell
have
you
him.
everything you need to know. So I don't, I don't, like I said, I don't know why Jerry won't pay him. I do know, we wanted to, we do spend a lot of money though, and it'd be a cap hit, and I guess he's trying to work some things out. But eventually, hopefully he'll pay him. But as far as addressing the problems that we need to address, I think it was good that we bought Ezekiel Elliott back. We shouldn't have never let him go in the first place. And I was in a group chat with a couple of my friends, and some of them they Cowboys fans, and when they let Ezekiel Elliott go, they were like good because he was a shell of himself. He wasn't the same person. But I told him, I said, we're gonna miss that red zone presence. We're gonna miss that those red zone touchdowns and those yards, because even though he wasn't 1,000-yard rusher the
He can
last
get
year
in
he
the
was
red
with
zone and make
Dallas,
those plays in
he
the red
still
zone. Fourth and one,
he
he can
still
make those plays like that. You're right.
he still had 14 rushing touchdowns, which is he had one of the most, I think he had some of the most rushing touchdowns in the league among running backs. He he was he completed like so many red zone conversions, first downs and stuff. So he was getting you all the tough yards that you needed, but because he wasn't as flashy or wasn't getting 1,000 yards anymore, everybody's like, oh, he's not the same. But I tell people too, not only that, they dropped his carries. Whenever you split a quarterback, I mean not a quarterback, but a running back's carries with with somebody else, you can't expect them to get the same amount, of yards that they were getting. But he still was
Right.
averaging 4 yards per carry. If you look at his last season at Dallas, he was averaging 4 yards per carry, which is still good for a running back. You
And,
know,
and no question. I said that like we living in a passing NFL league right now. And a
right?
passing NFL league, they're looking for versatility, quick. It's not even about the bruising backs no more. It's all
Mm,
about a guy who can catch the ball, who can be explosive in the passing game as well as the running game. For me
mm-hmm,
personally, I didn't think y'all should never got rid of him because him and Pollard paired together. But now my
mm-hmm.
next question to you is like, now you bring back Zeke. Who you going to next? You think Turbin is next up? Do you think
No,
Turbin
no,
is
no.
out?
Well, we got Rico Dowdle. Rico Dowdle was actually a good complimentary piece to Pollard last year. A little bit bigger. Um, he was just short. He was just short yardage back last year. Rico Dowdle.
And that's the
Um,
beauty of bringing on the fan of the Cowboys because I don't know
yeah.
half the roster, but he ended up breaking that down for me. Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we're gonna be all right. I think we'll be pretty good. A lot of people they looking at, oh, we didn't go and jump in and do any big free agent signings, so they took that as a sign as we didn't do anything. I mean, did I feel like we could have done more? We could have. I would have liked for us to have gotten Henry. I would have loved that, but
Mm.
um
He
I
probably
think
came
I
at a
think
cost
you
though
know,
too. At the same time, now you
but
think about it,
yeah.
with the Cowboys willing to pay him, and like you said, they haven't paid Dak. So now it
Mm-hmm,
comes between the tell of the two: do we pay the running back the big money, or do we pay Dak the leader?
mm-hmm.
So go ahead and finish up this topic real quick before I go to
And
the next
thinking
topic.
about, and I thinking, thinking that Jerry probably had been torn for letting Ezekiel Elliott go too. That probably was bothering him, and it's probably he's getting older. He's facing mortality. He probably was like, look, I need to rectify some things. I need to bring this guy back because you know, he was an asset to the team. And we saw last year we could have easily been a number one seed because a field had we made a couple of first downs or scored in the red zone a few times. That game we lost to the Dolphins. We had no business losing that game, but Tony Pollard gets down there and fumbles the ball right at the end zone.
It's a that
You know,
running back thing, man, is a different beast, man. Because like I think with GMs and this is raw thoughts 101. What I say is not stats and statistical stuff. It's more like me giving my raw thoughts opinion.
right?
Looking at things from the eye test, it seems like teams feel like the running backs can get wore down in their rookie contract. Not set up to where they don't get big money. They have to wait till after their rookie contract to get big money or like the fourth year and maybe a fifth year extension, whatever it is. But
Mm-hmm.
it sounds like to me it comes off as like we go get a dime of you guys out of college and can do the
Mm-hmm.
same thing and save us money. So that I don't think a lot of teams are big on getting the a lot of teams are not big on paying running backs big money. So they're gonna say, well, we had our fun time with you. You take this. If you don't, then I just going to draft somebody who's just as good as you and pay them less money. Quarterbacks are a special piece to a game because every quarterback in college just ain't good. Every quarterback just ain't got it. And sometimes you get that magical piece, you just have to pay that piece. But running backs, you like, forget it. 49ers got lucky with Purdy. But also, I would say it's a reverse thing because Purdy has so many weapons around him. So all he got to do is give it all. Now, I will say this. A lot of people don't want to give him credit. I think he's a better vision QB than Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he was way better than Jimmy Garoppolo seeing people down the field. He has a great vision that. And when you put pieces like that around him, he understands who's open, who's not. Jimmy Garoppolo's not good at it. I'm gonna just tell you that.
I will say I didn't like how they tried to discount him a lot of times because he does have all those pieces around him, but at the end of the day, you still got to execute. He still had to hit him.
Correct.
He still had to hit him.
Like and I seen them pieces always open for years with Jimmy Garoppolo never hit. Like you to hit that, you still have to hit that. This kid is just they got lucky. I'm just saying the 49ers got lucky with him because
they did.
He's short.
But the thing is, it's similar to my Cowboys. We got lucky with Dak Prescott, and that's another thing I try to tell a lot of people because they say, "Oh, well, Dak ain't got it," and I tell people all the time, actually, he's overachieving because he's a 4th round pick.
If Dak Prescott goes on the free agent market, watch how fast he be off the market. He ain't gonna be one of the ones gonna sit there. Somebody gonna pay him what he want, and it ain't gonna be a question.
And rightfully so, but he was a 4th round pick. Like I tell people, what you expect? Like he a 4th round. He's overachieved. To be honest with you. Now, does he need to be better in the playoffs? But our defense need to be better in the playoffs too. But I just think people looking at the games, they don't really, they don't take into account everything, that goes into it or whatever, I want him to play better. I want to do better. I want us to get a ring this year, but it's not the end all be all. If we don't win, I tell people all the time, I've seen my boys win championships. I like to see other stories of other teams that haven't been there. Man, I want the Lions to believe it or not. I want the Lions.
I get it. I mean, I ain't gonna front. I get it. Like the Lions story, and I got 2 guys. Shout out to my guy Ray Lynn and to my guy Mikael Bird, my guy Elo. He diehard. They are true diehard Lions fans, and when you're a true diehard Lions fan, that moment you gotta respect it. So I get it. So it's just like no, I get it, man. Now everybody gonna win, lose, whatever. That's how the game goes. But I got a few more topics so we can get off, so we get out of the way. All right, so. Will Duke men's basketball cut down the nets this year? There was a random off topic, but I just want to know in college basketball. The basketball team cut down. They have a lot of sasses. They made some big moves. They got a transfer that came in. And do you think Shire is the correct coach for Duke?
Yeah, most definitely. I think I like that. You needed somebody like Shire. You needed to bring a guy that had been on a coaching staff. With Mike Krzyzewski, but has like the knowledge, the swag, the charisma, because it's marketing. Everything is marketing. John Shire is marketable. He cool. He's somebody that's young. These young guys, they can relate to or whatever. You think about it when Mike Krzyzewski came in the game or whatever. Young, cool, well-dressed, clean-cut guy or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And when you watch them old clips when he was winning, he was relatable. Like he was relatable to those young guys, and that's what you needed. Somebody like John Shire. I thought it was gonna be somebody else. I thought it possibly could have been a Nolan Smith or somebody like that. But I'm glad. I like what Shire has done, and most definitely, I think we cutting down the nets. I think we have some for UConn next year.
And I'm gonna tell you this now. A lot of people talk about Cooper Flag, all those guys. I'm gonna tell you this guy. I covered him myself at news station WRL and also for All My Sports during basketball season. Isaiah Evans is different. He has that KD cold-blooded assassin type of killer. When I seen this kid go into Myers Park and beat Myers Park at Myers Park and put up 48, and Myers Park was ranked number 19th or 20th in the ESPN. high school
Mm-hmm.
poll, and he
Mm-hmm.
went in there like it was nothing.
Yeah.
Man, he
Yeah.
single handedly took over that game. A lot of people ain't talking
Yeah.
about him. A lot of people think he ain't gonna play, but I'm telling you,
Oh
this
yeah.
kid gonna be like that as
Yeah.
those kids say
Oh.
in this day and time. He's a different dude, man. I'm just telling you, I have covered him myself, and I'm gonna make sure I have this on record so
Mm-hmm.
people can see when I say this next year how good Isaiah Evans is. We're gonna be able to see it because Isaiah Evans is just that good. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they Slim Reaper, Slim, whatever. I mean, it's a lot of guys who are small. This area here, in the NBA and college
Mm-hmm.
basketball, it ain't built on physicality because a lot of calling. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I'm just saying, I just think like, although I know Cooper Flag gonna be one and done, I know all the other guys, the kids that gonna have one and done, they got a few transfers. I get all that, but I just think this guy gonna show somebody
Hey
some
man,
stuff they ain't
this
talking
is
about.
this Duke, and it's
Right.
2020. This is the 2000. This is going to be like another 2015 Duke national, basketball team, like
Mm,
with freshmen,
2015,
like
Taj Young,
with the
Jaleel Okafor, Justice Winslow,
yes,
um, Quinn Cook was
yes,
the leader at the time on that team. Now I
yeah.
get it. Yeah.
But they had freshmen. Then you had Grayson Allen, who came off the bench as a freshman and was killing. Like man, we people don't understand, we
Right.
whooped
Yeah.
Michigan State. Like that game, he had his coming out party against Michigan State in the Final Four that year. Like,
And now he's in the NBA still being successful.
yep. So I think it's yeah. I look forward to the not the Bulls, Lord, the Duke Blue Devils. I look forward
You
to
got the
them.
Bulls on your mind. Jordan must be
I
on your
don't
mind.
know, man. Yeah, I must do, man. Yeah. But I look forward to Duke, man. Cutting down the nets. I think they the perfect rival to UConn.
And I can't wait to see it, and especially with a Hurley at UConn, with a
Yeah.
Hurley that played at Duke. All right, so
No,
this
no,
is
that's
how
that Hurley. That Hurley.
he didn't play
He
at Duke. What I'm saying is Dan Hurley is the brother
yeah, the
of
brother.
Bobby
Yeah. Uh
Hurley,
huh.
and
Yep.
that dad used to coach in New Jersey, so it would be
Yep.
cool to see a Hurley at Connecticut, but the
Hmm.
brother actually played at Duke, so this would be interesting. Um, this is what I call right now as a fan for Monte Atkins, and by the way, we're gonna have him up here a lot. Like Atkins, man, is like deep in all sports and stuff. We'll probably talk baseball next time, and as we
Formula
get into
One, man. I love Formula One. You watch Formula One?
I haven't. But go ahead, tell
Look,
me
you
about it.
gotta watch it, man. You gotta watch it. Next year, I plan on going to the Miami Grand Prix. But yeah, anyway, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh boy, here we go. So with that being said, this is what I call he doesn't even know about this. And ladies and gentlemen, he really doesn't because I haven't told him about this. And that's what makes this topic so good because I don't tell people, I just bring it up. This is what I call the raw thought sportsman, meaning that you can talk about any sport, anything you want to talk about in sports, whatever's on your mind, your raw thoughts mind that you want to get off right now. No matter if it's although it's a minute, sometimes it goes over a minute, but the floor is yours to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
So,
Sports wise, the reason why I said it because I had a guy come here talking about some random girl and got caught by the daddy type, but that's another story.
oh
But
no, no, no. We gonna keep it at the sports. We gonna keep it strictly sports. Um, I do want to address I guess the beef going back and forth between some of the guys, the NFL guys, criticizing and maligning Austin Rivers about, him saying that it could take 30 NBA guys and put in the NFL and stuff. And, some of the NFL guys saying, oh, well, that's not true. They can't. I feel like this. A lot of those guys, Austin Rivers might have had a point. A lot of them guys played football,
right.
in high school or whatever.
Oh God, go ahead.
Some of them played it in college as well. They athletes at the end of the day. They still strong, they big, but at the end of the day, they probably could have been looking at the money. Hey, NFL ain't guaranteed. I'm out here getting hit. I can end up getting CTE and stuff like that, be messed up the rest of my life or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But I can go
Makes
run up
sense.
and down this basketball court and my body ain't got to take all this punishment
Right.
and I can get, paid fully guaranteed money, you know.
Correct.
I just, I wanted to address that because a lot of people have been coming down on Austin Rivers saying that he was pretty much bugging because he didn't, because 30 guys, he felt like 30 guys can leave from the NBA and go to the NFL. And it's possibly true, you know. It's just some guys took a different route because everybody ain't trying to get banged up. The risk is not worth the reward to some of
Correct.
them.
I agree.
You know, LeBron. Look at LeBron. LeBron probably would have been an exceptional tight
Yeah.
end. Or
Right.
wide receiver, but his body getting hit. Look, he probably would have lasted maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years in the
Right.
league. He going into his 22nd year. He take care of his body. You know, he's still averaging 25 points a game. So
And I
yeah,
agree. Now, you ready for my raw thoughts minute?
yeah, of course. I want to hear
My
it.
my
Huh?
raw thoughts minute is this is something that's in the football, but it's been something that's been on my mind, and it is insane because after I sat back and dived into it and wanted to listen to it and like hear people's thoughts, it does make sense. Kirk Cousins' contract. Ladies and gentlemen, Kirk Cousins got a big payday and he was hurt. And Lamar Jackson was sitting there. They just about gave him a similar contract. And although I got nothing against Atlanta, but off the blank and then you dropped the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I understand Kirk Cousins. I have nothing against Kirk Cousins. I think he's all right quarterback. But you could have gave that money, could have put that city alive in Atlanta by giving Lamar Jackson that money with Lamar Jackson doesn't even require. Well, let me take it back. He wants more weapons, but you could have had drafted like rookies and wide receivers compared to Kirk Cousins, the team you got. Like Lamar Jackson should have been your first choice. You gave him just about the same type of contract. And I understand his stats. I understand Kirk Cousins' stats. But let's be real. Kirk Cousins' stats were easy. He was throwing screen passes and 5 and outs and 10 and outs to playmakers.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Lamar, but you're getting explosive, elusive ticket seller. If it's Kirk Cousins on the field versus Lamar Jackson, we know Lamar Jackson is going to sell that place out in
Yeah,
Atlanta. And I
Michael
mean,
Vick
he said
2.0.
the Ben Stadium would be, and I've been in that stadium because I did an ESPN symposium and got invited by ESPN, so I know that stadium would be rocking. So
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying is like you had no business getting away from Lamar Jackson, but to go get Kirk Cousins coming off an injury and giving him just about the
Achilles.
same contract was
Yeah.
insane to me. That's my raw thoughts. Raw
Mm-hmm.
thoughts,
Oh,
and you're
you
not going to do
100%.
much with him in Atlanta. And regardless of what people call him, first cousins, whatever cousins, is cool. But Kirk Cousins has never been proven to be in a situation where he can win the game as a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He hasn't been in that position. Although Kyle Shanahan loves him because he drafted him,
Mm-hmm.
he ain't. And apparently Kyle Shanahan is kind of content and cool on Brock Purdy. But my
Right.
point is like Lamar Jackson in Atlanta, Baltimore definitely fits Lamar Jackson, but Black Hollywood, raw thoughts,
Yes. Yes.
is perfect
Man,
for a guy like Lamar Jackson to thrive that city back to
man,
what it
look,
used to be.
Michael Vick 2.0.
Correct.
It would have been
Woo.
Michael Vick 2.0, man. God,
And
yeah.
Bijan Robinson, the offense they could have ran, my
Yes.
God,
Mm, yeah.
it
But
would have
see,
been
that's
hard to defend them.
that's the thing, man. They Kirk Cousins, they get them guys contracts, but Kirk Cousins got one playoff win
And
and been in the league.
I'm gonna shout out this too. Mid ain't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Shout out to Kirk Cousins' agent because apparently Kirk Cousins'
Yeah.
agent got him feeling like he's God in those rooms. He done got
Yeah.
so many guaranteed contracts for the Washington Commanders at the time it was the Redskins, but not Commanders, to Minnesota giving him more and more money at the time. To now you
Mm-hmm.
got Atlanta Falcons. Like I'm trying to figure out what is. I know. No, don't get it twisted. He's a safe pick for money because Kirk Cousins don't do nothing. He don't get out here do stuff. He's a perfect guy when it comes to stewardship and like not getting in trouble. He don't go nowhere. But we talking about on the field.
Right.
I don't know what his agent saying, to say, hey, Kirk Cousins is just the perfect guy to be your leader. Okay, I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
But one playoff win. But go ahead. That's
One
it.
playoff win, exactly. So that's the thing. He has one playoff win, and he can continuously get paid. There's never an issue with his contract negotiations, pretty much, or whatever. But in the latter years, anyway, there's never an issue with his contract. Dak Prescott, 2 playoff wins. He got to sit here and play out to his final year and all this stuff or whatever, and it's it's like you said, what they did to Lamar Jackson, one playoff win. He hadn't been in the league as long, and they didn't want to offer him any money. Atlanta wasn't even interested in him.
And of all people, I don't know if that. And then I'm also saying to myself on the rebuttal, so they think he's the next Michael Vick. Man, Lamar Jackson ain't dealing with dogs and stuff. I don't know. I
Why
don't
he
know
don't got
what
no
Lamar Jackson
shoes?
do.
I want to know why he don't have no signature shoe.
Say it again.
Lamar Jackson. Huh?
Say
Okay.
it one more time. I can hear you. I had to take my
I
sip.
don't know why he don't have no signature shoe. Lamar
He
Jackson.
should have something. He ain't been in no trouble. Maybe the parents he dresses like probably gets him, but at the same time, he ain't done nothing. Like he ain't done that to make people think that he's nothing. Like
He the
Miami
AI.
probably gave him the money, but I don't think Miami had the money at the time because Miami had other players to bring in. So I understand that situation. The Atlanta Falcons had nothing to say but to sign him. If you sign Kirk Cousins to this, coming off what is it? I don't know if it's an
Achilles
ACL or
injury.
torn Achilles. Man, you got to be kidding me.
Right.
And Kirk Cousins been known to get hurt a few times. So I mean, he's been around, he's simple, but a lot of people, everybody likes what they like. But for Atlanta, marketing, ticket sales, win or lose, get to Super Bowl or not, Atlanta is the perfect spot because he's gonna get people in those seats. Kirk Cousins is a good guy overall. I ain't questioning Kirk Cousins, but
he
Kirk
ain't never had an
Atlanta,
MVP.
like, Mister, you like that? I don't know what type of picture they trying to paint from a marketing perspective, but a marketing perspective. But I just felt like if you did that, you might as well gave that money to Lamar Jackson and be done with it. Lamar Jackson's gonna be good. He's gonna be in a good situation now. Of course, I know Baltimore loves him, so they had to keep him, but it just wasn't the contract he probably should have got. He probably got more. Who knows? But we'll see, man. But that's all I got for All My Sports, man. You go ahead and say everything you got to say before we get off.
Oh, man, just thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it. It's always love, man. It's always a time when we talking about sports, man. Like you said, we had that real barbershop talk, man. It get heated in that barbershop.
You got that
man.
right. Gets heated in our barbershop and natural moves, man. We always there, man. We get to talk about real sports. Sometimes we forget our next assignment on our agenda because we get in there and start talking.
Exactly. Tired of this goat talk and everything. I'm tired of this goat talk. Kobe is the greatest. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But
man, we got
Kobe's my
plenty more
man,
with you,
man.
man.
I miss him. Huh?
We got plenty more with you. I'm sorry. We'll go ahead.
Yeah, Kobe, my man. I miss him. But yeah, man. Look forward to many more shows with you, man, and talking sports, man. I love some sports, man. I love it.
No doubt, no doubt. And by the way, like he's the fan. Like he's not a guy who's in the industry. He's just a guy. I felt like Raw Mod Sports needs people up here like him to discuss their fandom, man, and what they feel about sports from the outside, from a different lens. Not a person who's coaching, not a person who's playing, but sometimes you gotta let them, give their thoughts. And I'm all about serving all the people, fans and all. With that being said, Monte gonna be here for more. We probably gonna come up with some more topics.
Oh yeah.
When we get in the barbershop this week. But
right.
We'll be right back, like we never left.
Right. Exactly. All right, brother.
With that being said, Raw Mind, Raw Thoughts is out.
All right, brother.